Imagine you're preparing to invest millions of dollars in one of Africa's fastest-growing economies. The population is young, consumer demand is rising, new industries are emerging, and the growth forecasts look impressive. But then you try to register your company. The process takes longer than expected. Your equipment is delayed at customs. Tax rules are difficult to navigate, and resolving a commercial dispute could take years. Suddenly, that attractive growth rate does not tell the whole story. Because for investors, the most promising economy is not always the one growing the fastest. Sometimes, it is the one where a business can enter the market, operate efficiently, and expand without being trapped by administrative friction. In 2025, the World Bank evaluated the business environments of 29 African countries across 10 areas, covering the entire life cycle of a company, from starting operations to closing them. And the results reveal something important. A new competition is emerging across Africa. Countries are no longer competing only for economic growth. They are competing to become the easiest and most reliable places to do business. But to understand why countries such as Rwanda, Mauritius, and Morocco are moving ahead, we first need to understand what makes an economy genuinely business-friendly.
Welcome to Spotlight in Africa, where data, research, and real market intelligence come together to help you better understand Africa's evolving markets. Too often, the global conversation about Africa focuses on headlines rather than the deeper reality: growing financial markets, expanding entrepreneurship, and a continent of more than 1.4 billion people shaping the next phase of global economic growth. On this channel, you'll gain clear, data-driven insights that help you understand how Africa's economies are changing, what's driving its capital markets, and where long-term investment opportunities may emerge. Subscribe to the channel to stay informed with future analysis, insights, and opportunities shaping Africa's markets.
For decades, African economies were often judged primarily by a handful of headline indicators: GDP growth, population size, natural resources, and foreign direct investment. These numbers remain important, but they can hide the realities businesses experience on the ground. An economy may be growing at 6% a year, but if companies face unpredictable regulations, unreliable infrastructure, inefficient customs systems, and weak contract enforcement, that growth can be difficult for investors to access. The World Bank's 2025 Business Environment Assessment examines 10 domains covering the life cycle of a company. These areas are evaluated through 3 broad pillars: the strength and clarity of regulations, the quality of public services and infrastructure, and the efficiency businesses experience when complying with the rules. In other words, the assessment does not only ask what laws exist on paper. It also asks whether those laws and services actually work. That distinction is critical because a country can announce ambitious reforms, but if businesses still experience delays, uncertainty, and excessive costs, the investment environment may not have meaningfully changed. Among the 29 African countries assessed, Rwanda stands out for its regulatory efficiency and streamlined administrative processes. This did not happen by accident. Over time, Rwanda has worked to simplify business registration, digitize government services, and reduce the number of administrative steps required to operate formally. For an investor, this efficiency has real financial value. Every day saved during registration, licensing, taxation, or customs clearance reduces the cost of entering the market. It allows capital to be deployed more quickly and gives businesses greater certainty when planning expansion. Rwanda may not possess the largest economy or consumer market in Africa, but it has recognized that administrative efficiency can itself become a competitive advantage. In a region where many businesses still struggle with bureaucracy, predictability becomes a valuable economic asset. Rwanda is not alone. Mauritius and Morocco also perform strongly, supported by relatively stable institutions. efficient business registration systems, and well-developed trade infrastructure. Mauritius has spent decades positioning itself as a bridge between African markets and the global financial system. Its regulatory structure, financial services sector, and investor-friendly institutions have helped the country attract businesses far beyond what its small population might suggest. Morocco has followed a different path. Through investments in ports, industrial zones, transportation networks, and export-oriented manufacturing, the country has established itself as an important link between Africa and Europe. Its trade infrastructure allows companies to move products and capital more efficiently, strengthening Morocco's appeal as a base for regional and international operations. These examples demonstrate that business competitiveness is not determined by market size alone. Smaller or mid-sized economies can outperform larger rivals when they build institutions that make investment easier, faster, and more predictable. Perhaps the most significant development, however, is not the continued strength of established hubs. It is the rise of reforming economies, such as Benin and Senegal. Both countries have made progress by improving licensing procedures, introducing digital tax systems, and strengthening protections for investors. These reforms may sound technical, but their economic impact can be substantial. A digital tax platform reduces the time businesses spend completing administrative tasks. More transparent licensing limits uncertainty. Stronger investor protections can make companies more confident that their capital and ownership rights will be respected. Together, these changes send a clear signal. Business-friendly environments in Africa are expanding beyond the continent's traditional commercial centers. And once one country begins attracting investment through reform, neighboring countries face pressure to respond. That creates competition, not only for capital, but also for companies, skilled workers, regional headquarters, and supply chains. For investors, regulation is not simply a legal issue. It directly affects returns. A predictable regulatory framework lowers the cost of entering and expanding within a market. Efficient customs systems reduce delays and inventory costs. Reliable digital services speed up payments, licensing, and tax compliance. Effective courts and dispute resolution systems give businesses greater confidence that contracts can be enforced. When these systems work, investors can make decisions with greater certainty. When they do not, investors demand compensation for the additional risk. This is known as the risk premium. The more difficult and unpredictable a market becomes, the higher the potential return investors will require before committing capital. Some businesses may decide the opportunity is not worth the risk at all. Persistent red tape can therefore function like an invisible tax. It raises operating costs, discourages formal business activity, slows job creation, and prevents promising companies from scaling. This is where the competition becomes more significant. The countries strengthening their business environments are not simply trying to improve their rankings. They are attempting to position themselves as regional hubs. A company entering West Africa may compare Senegal, Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria, and Benin before deciding where to establish its operations. A firm expanding across East Africa may evaluate Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda based not only on market size, but also on taxation, logistics, licensing, and regulatory predictability. The winning country may become the location where the company establishes its headquarters, hires employees, builds infrastructure, and coordinates regional expansion. That means even a relatively small economy can capture an outsized share of investment if it becomes the most efficient gateway to a larger region. And this may be one of the most important economic battles taking place across Africa today. Africa's growth story is often told through population, natural resources, urbanization, and rising consumer demand. But none of those advantages automatically produce investable opportunities. The The ability to transform economic potential into sustainable business activity depends heavily on institutions. Rwanda's regulatory efficiency, Mauritius's financial infrastructure, Morocco's trade logistics, and the reform momentum in Benin and Senegal show that African countries are increasingly treating the business environment as a source of competitive advantage. For investors and business leaders, the lesson is clear. Do not evaluate an African market using GDP growth alone. Examine how easily a company can register, access infrastructure, move goods through customs, pay taxes, enforce contracts, and expand its operations. Because the countries that consistently improve these systems are doing more than attracting capital. They are building the foundations to become Africa's next generation of regional business hubs. And as competition for investment intensifies, reform momentum may increasingly separate the markets that are investable at scale from those whose potential remains constrained by structural friction.
Thank you for watching. If you found this video valuable and want deeper insights into Africa's economy, finance, and capital markets, subscribe to our channel at Spotlight in Africa so you can stay informed with future analysis and opportunities shaping the continent's markets. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next video.